Hi everybody, I just thought I'd give you a catch-up video about my tinnitus at the moment. When I started this little channel, I really didn't want to become some sort of whinger who's going on about how bad his tinnitus is and, you know, bore you with my tinnitus stories. But it seems as if at the moment I'm almost doing that, because despite all the things that I've tried to get rid of this terrible, almost like an electronic microwave frequency kind of sound in my head, which incidentally is there right now, since the last video, I was hoping that I was going to tell you that things have got better, but in my case I think they've probably got a little bit worse. That's despite taking black seed oil every day, and that's from the cumin plant from the Middle East. I'm now just over 2 months and about a week in taking that every day. I've been taking my herbal tinctures. I won't go into what I'm taking because I've gone into that on the previous video with the herbal tinctures. And I'm also growing and drinking wheatgrass juice, which can't be a bad thing, but unfortunately none of these things yet has actually affected my tinnitus and made it better. So I am suffering a little bit at the moment with it, and I've been getting really bad spikes, especially at night. So the way I dealt with that, and I spoke about this in a previous video, is with my tinnitus masking hearing aids, which I had provided by the NHS, and they really have been a godsend. I've been wearing them a lot recently because of these tinnitus spikes where my tinnitus just goes up through the roof. And I've also had to resort to taking 0.5 milligrams of lorazepam at night just to calm myself down and try and get some sleep. That does work sometimes. Other times I wake up in the middle of the night with this terrible sound. It's almost like somebody stood next to the bed with a laser beam firing it into my head. It's that bad, and it's classed as disabling tinnitus or debilitating tinnitus. And also, as I've mentioned in other videos, I am a health professional with over 30 years experience, and although I'd heard about tinnitus, I didn't really know that you could get disabling or debilitating tinnitus in this way. I didn't even know it existed. So this has been a bit of a shock for me, and I've been suffering with it, I would say, for a couple of years, but it really got bad over the last maybe 10 months, and it's just got to the point where it is really loud. I'm sat here now, it's in my head. It's not like a whistle, it's like an electronic frequency, and it just doesn't go away. So this impacts on my life, my family life, you know, my social life, everything. So if you've got a similar problem, then I can really empathise with you. The good news is that there are things that help people. Some things help some people and some things help other people, or some things don't help any people at all. So I'm going through the whole rigmarole of trying to find out what is going to work in getting rid of my tinnitus, because I do believe that you can get rid of it. So I've tried vitamins and minerals. I won't go into them because I've done videos about that as well. They didn't do me any good, and I've been taking them for some time because all these so-called treatments and extra supplements, they do take, you know, can take up to 3 to 6 months to actually work. So, you know, you have to be in for the long haul. I do like what Liam Boehm says about fasting. That does make a lot of sense to me, and as you see in one of my other videos, I did actually do a juice fast where I just drank juice for a week, and that did change the noise in my head slightly, just to a higher, slightly less higher pitch, but it didn't go away. And a few days later, although I changed my diet, it came back again. But I do think there is something in fasting. I've also had to go back to the GP and ask for some. I wanted gabapentin, they wouldn't give me that, so they've given me pregabalin. This is for anxiety. It's also an anti-seizure drug, so I'm not really keen on it, but I'm so desperate to get rid of these massive spikes that I'm getting that I'm having to resort to pharmaceutical drugs at the moment, but I haven't taken them yet. I'm just going to see if these herbs work, perhaps give them another 6 days to a week and just see if they help. The herbs that I'm taking, they can take up to 3 months, and as I said earlier, yesterday was 2 weeks that I've been taking them, and I'm taking them for sleep and I'm taking them for tinnitus itself. If these don't work, in the future I would like to try Chinese medicine, and that's Chinese herbs mainly. I have been to an acupuncturist, and as far as I was concerned, this woman was a waste of money, and it's not cheap to go every time to an acupuncturist. So, you know, I think with anything to do with tinnitus or getting treatment, not only is it getting the right treatment, but it's also getting the right therapist, because you might think that craniosacral therapy might do some good, and you might go to a rubbish craniosacral therapist. And it was the same with me with acupuncture. I went there and the woman was just into making money as far as I can see. She also gave me some herbs and it didn't make any difference at all, so I was quite disappointed. I thought I would see some sort of, excuse me, I've got a scratch, some sort of relief. Anyway, so with tinnitus, if you're new to tinnitus and if you're suffering with it and you're looking for ways of getting rid of it and ways out, then getting a really good therapist, no matter what you choose to do, is so important, because it can save you a lot of time and suffering and a lot of money. So that's one thing to look into, is the star ratings, word of mouth, find out if these therapists are as good as they make out, and then take it from there. So my next move is to carry on with these herbs. I'm spiking at this very moment. I've got a very loud, high-pitched noise going through my head, and I'm sick of it, as most of you are. I know that it's not just high-pitched noises that people suffer from. They might suffer from clicking, whooshing, hissing, all kinds of car siren type noises. I mean, it's hell if you've got really bad tinnitus, and it's actually like having torture 24 hours a day as far as I'm concerned. Where other people talk about, even my ENT specialist in the NHS said that it's a lot to do with stress. Well, that's fair enough. And I know Julian Cowan-Hill, who talks about craniosacral massage, says that it's also to do with stress. Well, it may well be, but what I can't figure out is why the other night, I mean, I'm not a great drinker, but I just wanted to enjoy some wine with my wife. Just had a couple of glasses of red wine and my tinnitus went through the roof. It went through the roof all night long, and I really wished that I hadn't touched it. It was so bad that now I would love to have a glass of wine, but I just won't do it because it's just not worth it. But what I can't understand is why, if it's a hearing issue, as the ENT specialists say, and that you've damaged the hairs in your cochlea, then why, when you drink some wine, or why, when, in my case, if I eat sugary foods, does my tinnitus spike through the roof? It seems very strange and odd. Of course, with Chinese medicine, I've looked into that a little bit, and they believe that it's to do with either your kidney meridians being blocked, or the meridians that are around and control your liver and gallbladder. So that's quite interesting. And they would treat you with acupuncture and special herbs over a period of time to release those blockages. And if these herbal tinctures that I'm taking at the moment don't work, then I think that's my next move, is to move towards Chinese medicine. But I'll be quite honest with you, after 2.5 years of suffering with this, culminating in terrible tinnitus about 10 months ago, I'm absolutely sick of it, and I just wish that I could wake up one morning and it would be gone and I felt normal. And I'm sure if you're suffering with tinnitus, then you feel the same. I mean, the good news is that people do seem to get over tinnitus somehow, and there are people with positive stories to tell about that. I've put together a little website which I've put a link under this video. It's tinnitusnews.blogspot.com, and basically I just share information about tinnitus on there to try and help people and push people towards different ways of getting rid of their tinnitus or learning to live with it. I don't like that, learning to live with it. I prefer, like you, just to get rid of it and become normal again, and that is my ultimate goal. But unfortunately today I've come on here and that isn't how I feel at the moment. But who knows, in the future I'm trying to see myself as healthy, and when I pray about this, or when I speak to the universal spirit who made me, or whatever you want to call it, God or whatever, I always pray with seeing myself as being healed already, sort of a law of attraction type of thing. Anyway, that's my little story so far. If you are suffering with tinnitus, then as I said earlier in this video, I really do sympathise with you, and I hope you find something to get rid of your tinnitus. If you like this video, please like, comment, and please let people know what you're suffering with, what your tinnitus noise sounds like, if you found something that's helped you even relieve your tinnitus a little bit. And please subscribe to the channel so that it encourages me to make more videos to help people with tinnitus and to ultimately help people get rid of their tinnitus. And thanks for watching the video, and hope to see you again in the next one.